were quick to point the finger at the 40-year-old actor. To make matters worse, the ill-timed Unfaithfully Yours was finally released. In it, Rex devilishly and brilliantly played the lead role of a symphony conductor who suspects his wife of infidelity and imagines different courses of action he could take.
What's the matter with you?
You're not laughing quite so hard now.
What are you going to do with that?
Have you ever heard of Russian roulette?
Why, certainly. I used to play it all the time with my father.
I doubt that you played Russian roulette all the time with your father.
Well, I most certainly did. You play it with 2 packs of cards, and
That is Russian bank. Russian roulette's a very different amusement, which I can only wish your father had played continuously before he had you.
But after the Carol Landis scandal, audiences assumed Rex's dastardly on-screen persona mirrored his off-screen antics, and the film suffered as a result.
People have drawn all kinds of obnoxious conclusions about it, but it was an incredible tragedy. I mean, I don't know how he went on with his life after that.
Although the affair had put a chill in their marriage, Lily remained at her husband's side. Due to the scandal, Fox dropped his contract, and after only 3 years in Hollywood, Rex Harrison had suddenly gone from charming rogue to social pariah. His career and reputation in ruins, Rex Harrison escaped to the safety of the stage. But his darkest hour would soon become his moment of triumph. In the summer of 1948, Rex Harrison and his family left Hollywood and retreated to New York City. It had been more than a decade since the actor tread the boards of Broadway, and he was eager to return to his first love.
Rex really found it very convenient to leave Hollywood and go off to New York to appear in Maxwell Anderson's Anne of a Thousand Days, where, amusingly enough, he played Henry VIII, the man with 6 wives.
Yes, 5 minutes, please. Thank you.
Though off to a rough start during out-of-town tryouts, once in New York, Anne of the Thousand Days ran for a spectacular 288 performances.
Yes, Henry?
Do I come too soon? Will it tire you to speak?
No, Henry. I'm glad to see you.
I just want to look at you two. My queen and my prince.
Harrison's peers lauded his performance, and critics sung his praises. But for Rex, the true sign that he had redeemed himself as an actor was when he was awarded Broadway's most prestigious honor, the Tony, for Best Leading Actor of 1949. Broadway work continued, and in 1950, Rex and Lily appeared together in Bell, Book and Candle, and even returned to Hollywood the following year to star in The Four-Poster, a light-spirited bedroom farce about manners and morals.
What's that?
It's a bed.
I can see that.
Built for a lifetime, guaranteed. We can pass it on to our children.
Our who?
After 7 years of marriage, Rex and Lily were finally on the cusp of joining the ranks of Lunt and Fontanne. But ironically, Rex chafed at the idea of a mate with a career on par with his own. Working together had only magnified the differences between the two actors. Once again, Rex was feeling restless. In 1954, while making the British film The Constant Husband, a romantic comedy about a man with 6 wives, 46-year-old Rex fell madly in love with his 26-year-old co-star, the luminous and irrepressible Kay Kendall.
No one could possibly blame anyone for falling in love with Katie. There's a line of William Blake's that says, "Exuberance is beauty," and that was Katie.
After 11 years of marriage, Rex and Lily separated, although they continued to work together while he carried on a tempestuous affair with Kay. But in 1955, Rex received an offer to star in a Broadway musical, one that would forever change his life and his career. Based on George Bernard Shaw's play Pygmalion, My Fair Lady told the story of a British elocutionist who transforms a Cockney flower girl into a lady.
Rex got the offer of his life that really established him as one of those stars people never forget. Playing Professor Higgins with his tweed hat on and his English aristocratic airs and that wonderful tongue that could tongue-lash people as well as caress them was very much to Rex's liking.
He loved Shaw's plays, so he loved the idea of playing Higgins. One of the things that he's responsible for in My Fair Lady is keeping so much of the original text in, because he fought for it. And I believe that's one of the things that made it as great as it is.
With music by Alan J. Lerner and Frederick Lowe, and co-starring the lovely and talented Julie Andrews, My Fair Lady opened at the Mark Hellinger Theater on March 15, 1956, and was a smashing success.
Rex Harrison as Professor Higgins, Julie Andrews as Eliza Doolittle, and cheered to the rafters.
After running for a year and a half to standing room only audiences, Rex took home his second Tony Award, and at the age of 48, he became the reigning king of Broadway.
There's no escaping the fact that for him it was the one in a million, where everything comes together for an actor. He was both a matinee idol and a light comedian, and also an actor of some gravity and subtlety. And it was so perfect for him.
After the success of My Fair Lady, Kay and Rex moved into a charming seafront cottage on the Long Island shore, where they reveled in the company of old money socialites and indulged in a reckless, playful lifestyle. But after only 6 months of unwedded bliss, the actor's life was turned upside down when he received shocking news.
One day, Kay's doctor sent for Rex and said, "Your good friend Kay Kendall is suffering from leukemia. I've not told her that."
When Rex confronted his wife, Lily, with the details of Kay's illness, he received a startling response.
Lily said to Rex, "The only thing to do is this: you and I get a divorce, you marry Kay, live with her as long as Kay lives, and after that I'll remarry you."
On June 23, 1957, at the age of 49, Rex Harrison wed for the third time, knowing even as the vows were being read, that the marriage would never last. Rex devoted every possible moment to his new bride, and even worked with her in The Reluctant Debutante, a charming comedy starring Sandra Dee and John Saxon.
Rex Harrison, the inimitable star of My Fair Lady. Kay Kendall, the fabulous comedienne of Les Girls.
Jimmy? Jimmy, are you all right?
Yes.
No!
For 2 years, Rex and Kay were inseparable. But on September 6, 1959, Kay Kendall passed away at the age of 32. Nothing in his life had prepared Rex for the devastation he felt after Kay's death, and he sought solace in the arms of his ex-wife, Lily Palmer.
My mother, was appalled by what she experienced as having her husband stolen from her by Kay Kendall, and I don't think that, she may have forgiven him, but there was no possibility of closeness.
Tormented by his emotions and now suffering the loss of both women, the 50-year-old actor was once again the focus of unwanted media attention. And he was beginning to question whether his professional accomplishments would ever outshine his turbulent personal life. In 1960, Rex Harrison was without a woman by his side for the first time in his life. Returning to his native England, he put aside his dapper image and accepted a standard actor's salary at the Royal Court Theatre to star in Chekhov's Platonov. The play was a great success, and Rex won the Evening Standard Award for Best Actor, as well as the heart of his leading lady, a 33-year-old Welsh actress named Rachel Roberts, whom he married on March 21, 1962. That same year, Rex was approached by 20th Century Fox for a leading role in their big-screen extravaganza, Cleopatra. and he signed on to play Julius Caesar. But when Rex flew to Rome to join the production, the eyes of the world were already trained on the scandalous extramarital affair between his co-stars, Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. To make matters worse, the film was seriously over budget and over schedule. But Rex Harrison managed to turn in an impressive and powerful performance.
The smoke of burning Roman dead is just as black, and the stink no less. It was Pompey, not I, who wanted it so.
Cleopatra turned out to be the most expensive film ever made. And although it took in a then staggering $24 million at the box office, it was still considered a financial failure. Nevertheless, Rex Harrison would be nominated for an Academy Award as the year's Best Actor. And although the award went to Sidney Poitier, Rex was enjoying his hard-earned reputation as one of Hollywood's most respected and bankable stars. He was also negotiating to reprise his trademark role as Professor Henry Higgins in Warner Brothers' lavish film adaptation of My Fair Lady.
It was on the terrace of his house in Portofino that Rex got the very good news about the film version of My Fair Lady. And Rex threw his arms out like that and said, "By George, I've got it."
She's so deliciously low, so horribly dirty.
I ain't dirty. I washed my face and hands before I come, I did.
I'll take it. I'll make a duchess of this draggle-tailed gutter snipe.
Ow!
We'll start today.
Although fans of the Broadway hit were disappointed when the part of Eliza Doolittle was not offered to Broadway's Julie Andrews, the on-screen chemistry between Harrison and co-star Audrey Hepburn offered plenty in the way of compensation.
He is so good that it doesn't matter whether he plays it on stage or screen. It's Rex Harrison who colors that film, who gives it its note of temperamental despotism that is so brilliant, particularly when it's set to music and words by Lerner and Lowe.
Why can't a woman be more like a man? Men are so decent, such regular chaps, ready to help you through any mishaps, ready to buck you up whenever you are glum. Why can't a woman be a chum?
After premiering in October of 1964, My Fair Lady was cheered by audiences and critics alike. And for the second time in 2 years, Rex Harrison was nominated by the Motion Picture Academy for his definitive performance.
Rex Harrison. Hold it out.
Well, this is a very exciting evening for me, and I feel in a way that I should split it in half.
Winning the Oscar for My Fair Lady was a big triumph for him, and it goes back to the Carol Landis period because, you know, the gossip ladies sort of blackballed him and told him he would never work in the town again.
But on the heels of his great professional success, Rex's personal life was once again in crisis. Since arriving in Hollywood, Rachel Roberts had given up a promising acting career to be Mrs. Rex Harrison. But while her husband was preoccupied with his work, the frustrated actress turned to alcohol for comfort and support.
She was a secret drinker and gradually became a public drinker and then into an alcoholic. She was a manic depressive. Oh, she was in a very bad way, Rachel Roberts.
Seeking refuge from his troublesome home life, Rex plunged into his next film, The Agony and the Ecstasy, co-starring Charlton Heston. The story told of the conflict between Michelangelo and the Pope who commissioned him to paint the Sistine Chapel. It also featured Rex in one of his strongest screen performances.
I will not obey you. Will not! Did I hear you correctly? Will not? Yes. I'll destroy it first with my own hands.
The best thing in The Agony and the Ecstasy is the confrontations between the Pope and Michelangelo, and the odd confrontational chemistry between us was crucial to the film. I don't think Olivier could have been better.
But when the film's box office returns paled in comparison to the staggering revenues of Fox's The Sound of Music, Rex was quickly cast in a family-friendly musical entitled Dr. Dolittle. Playing a veterinarian who could literally talk to animals, Rex had to contend with a menagerie of co-stars.
Rex Harrison talks about Dr. Dolittle.
First film in which a human being, myself, actually talks to animals. I feel it'll be a film which all the family, including the animals, are going to want to see. Including you, Chi-Chi, aren't you? Chi-Chi? Yes.
But although Dr. Dolittle went on to win 2 Academy Awards in 1967, the $17 million production proved to be a dismal financial failure. But much worse for Rex was the fact that his wife Rachel's condition had worsened. In hopes that the work and companionship would alleviate Rachel's deepening depression, Rex agreed to co-star with his wife in A Flea in Her Ear.
Are you feeling quite well?
Where are you going, Mother Tomato?
God knows.
Let's go and have a drink. See the can-can girls wiggling their bottoms. Have a little squeeze under the table.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
But in 1969, Rex was pessimistic about his wife's deteriorating mental state and finally realized that he could no longer help her. Inevitably, their rocky 7-year marriage came crashing to an end. Rex Harrison had lived life to the limit, and his constant womanizing and love of life's finer things had left him alone and kept him from his one true love, the stage. But as the aging star faced the final act of his life, he still searched for applause and one final bow. By 1970, the emotional strain of his divorce from Rachel had taken its toll, and Rex Harrison turned to family friend Elizabeth Harris for solace.
After his divorce from Rachel Roberts, Rex again was the lonely man, very much dependent upon the comfort of women, but he found that the temperament of Elizabeth Harris was very sympathetic to him. A highly educated, intelligent woman who liked fun in life.
The friendship quickly developed into a romance, and in 1971, the actor went to the altar for the 5th time with a 35-year-old divorcee. But Rex soon discovered that life with a woman whose world revolved around her 3 small children was not a life for which he was well suited.
Rex was demanding and hadn't been used to being in a family situation. His was very much a couple scene as opposed to a family scene. Good, he really tried, but I didn't feel that he tried enough.
In 1974, Rex busied himself with a new pursuit and penned a witty, revealing autobiography which was well received by fans and critics alike. But this distraction did little to help his ailing marriage, and once again, Harrison found himself in the dubious position of leaving another woman he loved. Over the next 2 years, Rex performed in 6 plays, including a one-man show the performer created based on George Bernard Shaw's theater critiques. And in 1977, while attending a New Year's Eve party in Monte Carlo, Rex met a sophisticated beauty named Mercia Tinker. The following year, Rex asked her to become his bride and was inspired to publish a book of love poems entitled If Love Be Love. Now 70, Rex's age and failing eyesight was threatening his ability to work, but nothing could keep the irascible actor off the stage.
He'd told Mercer, if the doctors say there's anything serious with me, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it. I'm doing a play.
Rex worked non-stop over the next 5 years, appearing in such productions as The Kingfisher, co-starring Claudette Colbert, the 25th anniversary revival of My Fair Lady, and Shaw's Heartbreak House. The tireless thespian had become one of the most respected actors in the world, But his greatest honor was achieved at the age of 82, when he was invited to kneel before the Queen for a knighthood.
You couldn't possibly get a knighthood if you'd been married more than once or lived abroad. So there was a major breaking of the rules, and I'm sure he appreciated that, even though it did come extremely late.
For Rex, who had proudly lived the life of an English gentleman, it was a moving experience and the honor of a lifetime.
Do you enjoy it as much as you did 50 years ago?
Yes, I love it. It's my life, really.
On November 20th, 1989, Sir Rex Harrison opened on Broadway in The Circle, co-starring Stuart Granger and Glynis Johns.